The front crawl. And let's open out those hips now, getting ourselves ready for exercise. Don't know about you, but I've been out for a run this morning, so I'm looking forward to this. And bring the hips in. Right, let's hold it there. Feet facing hip distance apart, so remember you can measure it with your fist. So make a fist, bend your knees, walk your feet in so your toes touch your fist, and the same with the ankles. So make sure the feet are facing forward and not out like that, straight up. Now start to think about pressing through your big toes, and let's start to come up onto the toes now. Don't come up too high because I don't want your ankles to do that. I need them to stay in a straight line. Let's start to add the arms, touching your ears as you do it. And now start to bend the knees. Now when you come up, make sure that your knees don't touch because you don't want to do that. Keep them apart. Press through the big toe, that really helps. And hold it there. Lower down. Lift your chest. Now bring your arms up again and squeeze your head. Scrape the sides of the room as you bring your arms to the shoulders. Turn to face and then push back. Ooh, that should feel nice. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring the arms back to the shoulders and come to tabletop. Now, while you're in tabletop, hold the tummy in so you've got a flat back, arms straight out from the shoulders. Breathe in, put your hands just below your knees to breathe out. So you're trying to lengthen your body now, trying to get your head onto the window or the wall and your bottom onto the wall behind you, but your knees are soft, remember. Breathe in, let's glide down. Lead with your chest all the way and let your head go. Bend your knees, breathe in and rise. Breathe out as you lean back. Stand tall and squeeze your head again. Now can you keep your arms next to your ears? And this time we come to tabletop. Excuse me. It's quite challenging here with your arms next to your ears and you're pressed in. Breathe in and put your hands just below your knees as you elongate again, and then glide down. So the second time we do something, we always do it a little bit faster. Bend your knees, breathe in, all the way up to the top. Bend the knees to lean back a little bit, don't go too far. Now stand tall, hold hands. Point your index finger. Take a deep breath in, make sure the feet are level. Keep your arms next to your ears. Can you keep your arms touching your ears? And let's come down to tabletop. Breathe in, all the way down. Release the hands. Now can you bend your knees and hook your two big toes with your pistol fingers? So we're here, and here. Breathe in, bend those elbows. So we're not bending into the knees are soft, but you're keeping your legs straight and you're bending your elbows because you're trying to get the crown of your head closer to the floor. Bend your knees to release the toes, breathe in and rise. Breathe out. Scrape the sides of the room all the way down. Give it a bit of a shake off. Right, are you ready for your sun salutation to warm up with? So I want you to stand to the front of your mat. I'm going to do it side on so you can see. So here is my front. Breathe in. Once you set your feet, breathe out. Stand tall, hands through the side door. I'm going through the front door, lifting the chest. And let's go to tabletop. Hands just below the knees. Breathe in. All the way down to breathe out. Bend your knees and step back with your right leg. So the right heel is pointing up to the ceiling and you're spreading the toes on the front foot. Arms in the air as you squeeze your head. Push through the back heel because we're going for a straight leg and a straight line from your head to your heel. Put your hands down. Let's take the leg to the back. Pivot forward so your chest is touching your arms, and take your arms back or your hands back, pressed in that belly button and lower down. Put your thumbs on your bottom ribs. Remember the position for your good shoulder health. Breathe in, breathe out as we pull those shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in, open your knees, sit back in pose of a child. Ah, that's so nice. Breathe in, scoop it through, bend your elbows, put your thumbs on your ribs, let's come up again. Now connect your toes, breathe in, breathe out, trying to get your head in between your feet, pushing those heels down again. You feel the stretch at the back of the legs. Now bend your knees, put your left knee down on the floor, your right foot through to the front. Press through those toes again to stop the knee from wobbling. Lean into your back hip, arms up. Excuse me, when I go out for a run, my airways become really quite open. And so I start to cough and my nose starts to run. Hands down. Back leg in to breathe in and rise. To breathe out and bring those hands down. So that's one side warmed up, and let's change now. So this time, when we fold, it'll be left leg to the back. So breathe in, breathe out. Stand tall, keep your arms next to your ears, and this time we go all the way down. Bend your knees and take that left leg to the back. Breathe in. Breathe out as you lift those arms up. Push through that back heel. Breathe in. Hands down. Now it's up to you. Do you want to put your knees down? You don't have to, but don't do that. The first thing to go on the floor is your chest, not your belly. Relax those toes. Put your thumbs on your bottom ribs to breathe in. Breathing out to come up. Let's sit back in that pose of a child again. So if you open your knees and try to get your chest on the floor, breathe in, scoop it through. Let's do the thumbs on the bottom ribs again. Pull those shoulders away. Connect your toes. Breathe in. Let's come up in your down dog to breathe out. Push those heels down into the mat. Now bend your knees and put your right knee down and your left foot through. Lean into it so you can feel it in that back hip. Make sure the foot is far forward enough so you can see your toes below your knees. Lifting those arms up. Breathe in. Hands down. Let's bring the legs together to breathe in and rise. Breathe out. Stand tall. And exhale. All right, we're a little bit warmer now, so we're going to be moving on. And we're going into down dog. I may just move my mat a little bit further over this way. Everybody loves a down dog, and we're going to do some down dog variations. So in order to get down onto the floor, I want you to set up your posture. Stand towards the back of your mat. Set your posture, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. We're going to do a Pilates roll down to get onto the floor. So put your chin into your chest and roll all the way down. Walk your hands forward. Don't go too far. Keep your heels on the floor. Keep your heels on the floor and then walk your hands forward a little bit more. Just keep those heels there. Only go as far forward as your heels will allow you. So you're pushing through those calves. Sorry, pushing through your heels. Can you feel the work going up the back of the leg And the front, well, it's the stretch at the back and the work at the front. Now let's walk those hands a little bit further forward to lift your heels up. Now imagine that you're trying to get your head in between your ankles. And now I would like you to lift your right leg. Now don't go too high. What I don't want is for you to open your hip like that. I want you to keep your hips facing the floor. So your knee is facing the floor. How high can you get your leg? And you notice the higher you try to get your leg, the more work is going on in that left leg. But also the stretch in the right. And the shoulders. Put that leg down. Let's change. Bring the leg as high as you can without turning your hips. So make sure that the knee on the left leg is pointing to the floor and not the side. Breathe in. Put the foot down. And then we're going to have a quick pose of a child. So let's just bring the hands to the back. Put them on your back to rest your shoulders. And put that head down. Excuse me. Put your hands next to your head to kneel up. And then put your hands on one side, lift up and look behind you. And bring it back round to the front, change sides. And bring it back round. So we're going to go back into that down dog and back into the single legs. But so obviously it's me, we're going to take it a bit further. So we're going to go with the scorpion. Now the knee is still facing the floor, but you're trying to get your toes on your head. Confused? Watch this. So I'm up into my perfect down dog, my kid down dog. I do love a down dog. Right leg is in the air, and then I bend the knee and try and get the foot on my head. So it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but I can feel it. Now off you go. Make sure that your right knee is pointing to the floor and not pointing to the side. So you're trying to get your foot on your head. Now the reason that the knee is pointing to the floor, because if it isn't, you're opening out your hip, which is not what we want to do right now. And let's change legs. So make sure you put the foot down in the same place it was. Really trying to get your foot onto your head. One day it will actually look like I'm trying to do it rather than me just squinching up my face. Breathe in, foot down, sit back in your pose of a child, put your hands on your back. Hands next to the head, kneel up. We'll do a side one now, taking over. Those of you that are just tuning in, this is not the end. This is a middle recovery. Now, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to open out the hip. So I'm going to show you from a few directions before you put your head down. So we're in the down dog, leg in the air, knee bent. Now you're going to open out the hip, but you're not going to turn it. So it could be, if you have got your right knee at 2 o'clock, this one here is at 12, offs, and we keep doing it. And you're trying to keep the hips facing the floor while the knee opens out. So it's like this, straight leg, bent knee, open out. So you can feel the glutes really working. You might find that you've got a bit of a shake on as well. How's that feel? And relax. Pose of a child, hands on your back. And then kneeling up. Roll your shoulders back. So hopefully you'd have felt a little bit of a shake there. And the shake happens when you're just pushing yourself that little bit further. So obviously we've got to even up and try on the other side. So I'm going to turn around so I don't kick the wall. Hands on here, bringing it up. Leg in the air. And then open. So this hip for me is a lot more flexible. Seem to be able to get that almost to 9 o'clock. Let's see what's going on with this one. Kicking my dresser, that's what's going on this one. Ah, not so bad. Remember, always adjusting, always bringing that hip round. And when you're ready, pose of a child. Hands next to the head to lift it up. Arms in the air and squeeze your head. Hold your hands. And let's go to one side. Not too far. And then the other. And bring it back. So the next move, I'm allowing you to move your hips because you're going to point your knee up to the ceiling. So if I do it this way, actually doing it lengthways is probably the best way to demonstrate this particular move. So I've got my hands down, coming up. Always make the most of this down dog. I'm trying to get my head in between my feet. Leg in the air. Bend the knee, turn it out, and then point it to the ceiling. Let me move over here. Trying to get your foot on your bottom. Look up to the ceiling. And then when you're ready, bring it down. That's a definite warmer. Very much like a plank in the temperature stakes. So we'll try the other side now. When you're ready, shake your shoulders out a little bit. And put the hands down. Coming up now. Into your down dog. Don't forget to enjoy it. Leg in the air, left leg, but you knew that. Try and get the foot on the head on the foot, bend the knee. Out to the side, and then up. Ooh, what's my foot on? Opening out. Trying to get your foot on your bottom. Just going to come down because of my dress. And my rabbit. And my glass that's broken already, but that's the design. And relax. You should feel all lovely and open in the hip area there. Give it a little bit of a shake. So we've got one more on each side and it's going to develop into something else. I'm moving this in that direction like that. So we start with the right leg in the air, but no, we start with a great down dog and getting the best from it. So I'm going to hold on to the sides of the mat, come up in the down dog, trying to get my head in between my ankles. Right leg in the air, without turning the hip, bend the knee, take it out, and then bring it back here. Bend your left knee, put your left knee on the floor, relax those back toes, right foot through to the front of the mat and lean into it. Put the hands down and let's turn. So this hand at the back, directly underneath the shoulder. Now if you want to, bend the elbow on the left hand and uncurl. Now this front foot. In fact, no, let's not. We'll build it up. Take the leg to the back and let's come back up in a down dog again. We're going to swap legs. Bring it up. Push through those heels. Left leg in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Scorpion to the side. Open out. Bring it back. Bend your right knee. Put the right knee on the floor. Bring this leg all the way to the front. Arms up. Hands down. Let's take the leg to the back and sit back in your last pose of a child for today. Or maybe not. Hands next to your head to lift up. So it's a natural progression from what we've just done. The leg went in the air and then it came through. So now we're going to take it through again to do a swan. Sleeping pigeon comes first though. So I want you to take your right foot, put it in the left corner of the mat. Still with the right leg, this is your right knee, put it in your right corner. I might come head on for this one. Now can you get your chest on your shin? Can you get the chest on the shin? Probably not, but give it a go. Keep this bum cheek on the floor for now. Really pushing into that. But remember, you know your body. Don't go too far. Now let's change sides. So trying to get your chest on your leg. Opening out all of it. You feel that here as well? All right, let's change again. Now this time you're going to lift your bum cheek off the mat. So leg to the back. This hand here, there's already pressure on it already, but I just want you to flip over. So the knee is on the floor. Now can you put your chest on the floor? That's it. Arms out. And let's change sides. And flip it over. Make sure the bottom isn't on, the knees on the floor, and try and get your chest on the floor. Now walk your hands back. One hand, we're going into the swan. Two hands. Remember, you can do this, you can do this, or you can do both. Relax it down. Let's swap sides. So we've got the knee in one corner, the foot in the other corner. Taking the leg to the back, flip it over. One hand, or two. Or you can alternate. Trying to really elongate this body. And down. Rolling out of it. Now bring the feet to the front, hip distance apart. Wrap your arms around and give your knees a big hug. Feel that across here. Put those legs out straight. Take a deep breath in, we're not done. And come forward. Now, if you can't quite touch your toes, it's not a problem. Put your hands underneath your legs. So grab your legs, roll the shoulders back. So this goes for everybody. So we're going from there to there and try and ease it down. Everybody's trying to get their elbows on the floor. Ooh, and rock it. Back to the centre, let the head go and uncurl. Now put your elbows down. Bring them in so they're underneath your shoulders. Now I want you to go into this very, very slowly. This is called the fish. You're looking to get the crown of your head on the floor, which is why you're doing it super slow. If you have any neck issues whatsoever, don't do it. It's that easy. If you've got neck issues, do not do this. Right, so your fish, lifting your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you lift your chest, you'll feel that you want to bring those elbows in a little bit more. Tilt the head back and the crown of your head on the floor. There is no pressure on your head at the moment, but we've just got this terrific bend in the neck all the time, squeezing the shoulder blades together at the back, lifting the chest. Now, so slowly, bring your chin back into your neck. So slowly. Bend the knees to come into a sitting position and then straighten the legs again as you bring the arms up. Breathe in, breathe out. Now lift your chest. Let's have a bit of a rock. Release, shoulders back. Sitting to the front. We're not done. One hand down, take it over. Oh, that's so good. Let's change sides. Breathe in, breathe out. Take this leg over, lift your chest up and look behind you. Bring it back to the front and let's change sides. Lift up and look, oh, behind you. That's such a nice stretch for me. Back to the centre. Now cross your legs, uncross them, cross them back the other way. You know how it is. Let's walk the hands forward. Let the head go. Over to one side. Back to the other side. Back to the middle. And uncurl, roll those shoulders back. Hands in prayer. Breathe in, breathe out. Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for getting up this morning to come and join me. Well done. Thank you.